Hi, I'm Kathy Henry, and I am a licensed clinical social worker in the Indianapolis area, and I am proud to work for Healing Hearts of Indy. Today I would like to talk about one thing that is common to all couples, in my opinion, as a counselor. In my years of working with couples, and you may have heard this in other videos, I have noticed that there's one thing at the base of every couple that comes into our office. And it is not seen easily right in the very beginning. It usually takes quite a while, maybe even 6 months or 2 years sometimes, to be able to get down to where you can really see this one thing at the root of their relationship, and that is that they are identical, essentially. And I noticed this recently. I had it kind of come to the surface. I saw it very clearly with a couple I was working with, and I'd been working with them for a little while. And they came in with an argument where he had sent a text that was very benign. There's some meaning behind it, maybe some passive-aggressive meaning behind it, unintentional. But of course, she was curious about what that meant and was reading things into it. And as she got angry trying to find out what it meant, he was trying to deny that it meant anything at all, denying his own feelings. And anyway, we worked through this, and this was all over, like I said, a very benign text. And what came out of it at the end of it was an understanding for each of them about what's really going on behind the scenes. That she has some underlying shame and abandonment that she projects onto him, and then she's looking for the evidence that what she fears, that maybe he doesn't love her or he thinks she's done something wrong, is true. That she's looking for evidence that that's true. And then, of course, she finds some evidence that she can link to that and say, well, see, it must be true. So her greatest fear is realized. And the same thing is going on with him. The exact same thing is going on with him. His shame and his abandonment are both working in this mix as well. And so at the very bottom of it, at the very end of the day, when you really can slough off all of the junk on the top and all of the projections and all of the misinterpretations and the assumptions and the accusations and all of these things, when you can boil all of those things off and get down to what's at the root of it, you find out that the two people are almost identical, that they've got very, very similar issues, which ironically is what drew them together in the first place. That's what gave them the original connection, the magnetic thing that draws you across a room to somebody, is because they're so much like you at their core, and that's why you connect so well in the beginning. But then once we start questioning each other's intentions and our fears come into play, and we're so afraid that our fears will be realized, that we're looking for evidence, and then it just starts, it's like rolling down a hill. You kind of can't get it back. So what our counselors here at Healing Hearts do is we help you to be able to, number one, slow it down. Number two, to keep it about yourself rather than always making it about your partner and what their intentions were and what did they mean or whatever, and talk instead about what you're feeling. And then lastly, to be able to dialogue with your partner about that. And I got to tell you, it's one of the most magical things as a therapist to finally see a couple starting to communicate like this. It's one of the things I just absolutely love about my job. And so if you need some help with this, if things are going fast and interpretations are running amok and you can't understand how you keep getting off the road, give us a call. We would be happy to help you work through it and hopefully get down to the bottom of your issues in your relationship as well. Thank you so much for listening, and I wish you well.